On today's show, President Obama officially makes his stance known on net neutrality, and it might turn your internet into a utility.
The European Space Agency thinks a 3D printer is the way to a lunar base.
Ooh, I like it. And a man makes an analog instrument that creates digital sound.
Like Keyboard Cat?
Something like that. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Esqueda. Joining me once again on a Monday, Kale Anonymous.
Hey, happy Monday to you.
Oh, happy Monday. I am Blizzcon wasted right now.
Oh, you're wasted on games?
I'm jacked up on Blizzcon still after 2 days.
Ready to go. And then Obama dropped some science on us
Drops
today,
the bomb. So let's hit the
stuff.
headlines. Let's not bury the lead. All right, so today, this morning, President Obama made it very clear where he stands on net neutrality. The answer is a great one for anybody who likes a free and open internet.
Definitely the right answer.
In our opinion. He is officially urging the FCC to enforce net neutrality and potentially reclassify the internet as a public utility. So in a similar way to phone companies, like your landlines. I know you kids have no idea what landlines are, but very similar to the way we regulated the phone companies back in, like, I think the 1930s. So what that would mean is there would not be things like internet fast lanes. Like, I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of these sort of phrases and kind of concepts like internet fast lanes and slow lanes, and also restricted access to sites and throttling and things like that. So there would be none of that. And one of the things that they had said was it would also cover other types of actions that, quote, restrict the best access or to pick winners and losers in the online marketplace for services and ideas.
And
so
that really benefits no one but the internet service providers, but that throttling.
Right, exactly. And
the people that are already rich.
Right, people are already rich. So one of the, like, a good example would be, this is an example that I had sort of seen and come up with. So one of the big concerns of people who are for net neutrality is that companies might restrict access to certain types of traffic. So let's say you have Comcast, and Comcast is about to make a very big merger with Time Warner. They're about to complete this huge merger and become the biggest provider of internet and cable in the country. So let's say Comcast decides they don't like all the traffic that Netflix is taking up. So they start throttling data on people who are using Netflix. Or they say, hey, Netflix, we're going to charge you a king's sum to open up that pipe again.
Yeah, and then your Netflix bill would go up.
Go way up. So this is sort of the argument that kind of it's this, like, very slippery slope on allowing these ISPs to, control the way your internet works and the way that your traffic works. So, and a lot of people don't want that to happen.
And some of the companies have taken a stand for it, like Netflix and Hulu and stuff.
Netflix, Hulu, a lot of, obviously, streaming companies are very happy that the president took this stance.
All streaming companies.
Yeah, very excited about that. But of course, as you can imagine, mobile providers like AT&T and Verizon, and also, Verizon also offers TV, so does AT&T, they offer Uverse. Comcast, all of these companies who are more traditional sort of cable companies and also mobile carriers have kind of denounced this and said this is going to affect infrastructure building. This is going to, it doesn't promote infrastructure expansion. Like, this is a thing where it's like, well, if we're going to be classified as a utility, why would we want to build out? Because our profits are not going to be, it's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. So it's the real crux of the issue, and hopefully this is sort of like, hopefully I'm getting all this right, because it is a very complicated issue. It's not black and white at all. I mean, there are arguments to be made on each side.
Yeah, it's good to know everything, though.
Kale and I, full disclosure, are all about a free and open internet. We're all about net neutrality.
Why not?
But the big debate on this is whether or not the internet should be classified under Title II regulation. So this is the same classification, like I said, that phone companies currently exist under. The classification is a lot more tightly regulated. So there's a lot more regulation, and it's all about being a public service, and you can't go nuts, basically. Like, this is the reason that Title II exists for phone companies, because at one time, phone companies were very, like, it was crazy. It was like it is now for the internet.
That was the way you communicate with people.
Right, and that was the only way you really were able to communicate with people quickly. So, so like we said, it's one thing, though, that is categorically not true, and this is sort of something that's been floating around on the internet today.
Oh, yeah.
It's very frustrating. Is that the president wants to make the internet, somehow people have gotten this idea that the president wants to make the internet a government owned and government controlled kind of utility. I don't know where this comes from. Like, people think it's going to be like, oh no, it's going to be owned like the DMV and you're going to have to stand in line to get your Netflix movie. No, that is the most ridiculous thing. It is somebody else, one of the senators referred to it as the Obamacare of the internet. Also categorically not true. If you hear somebody use that phrase, politely correct them, please, because that is not the case. It does not work like that. It would work a little bit more like, say, broadcast television. Network television is a public service. But CBS owns Channel 2 where we live. You know, they are corporations that own these, this bandwidth, and they are able to provide product for you, but it's regulated. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. So we're just saying, keep that in mind. Do your research, all that stuff. It's very,
you should definitely research you should definitely read what he wrote so that you can get an idea of how he's putting it. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's very well spoken, and I think that it's going to be a very interesting couple of years with a new Republican Congress and or majority Republican Congress. And sorry to get so political on you guys, right off the bat on a Monday, but this is a really important issue for the internet.
Everyone ever, because everyone uses the internet every day.
Every day.
All day, for more than you know.
Yeah. So it's an important issue. And one of the things we wanted to do was we wanted to give you guys a hashtag of the day to either make comments or ask questions. We want to hear your feedback on this. So the hashtag of the day today is very simply TDNet. And we want you to send over your comments, or if you have questions about net neutrality, if you have questions about anything, we'll do our best to answer some of them for you tomorrow on the show. But yeah, send over hashtag TDNet. That's all you have to send. We're always around. We're always listening, and you can always find us online. So
always.
On that note, take us to the moon.
Okay, can we talk about some more Tomorrow Daily stuff? Some stuff that's Tomorrow Daily?
Take us to the moon.
Okay. So this story combines two of our favorite things to talk about in Tomorrow Daily: space and 3D printers. Virtual reality, no, but that's one we always talk about. So as I said earlier, the European Space Agency, we sent a 3D printer back up to the International Space Station a while back in September, right?
Yeah.
So the European Space Agency was working with an architect firm, Foster and Partners. They created a video highlighting that they want to create a 3D printed moon base.
Oh.
The funny part that I think here is that they want to use an exoskeleton. They want to create the structure, the exoskeleton, from moon dust.
Oh.
So the 3D printer will use the moon dust. A robot.
Like a sand castle, like a moon castle, like a moon dust
makes the little
castle.
Moat. But it's going to go up with a robot-controlled 3D printer, and a inflatable dome.
Oh, so I like all of this. I like where all of this is going.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit back and watch as the robot uses the moon dust to build an exoskeleton around the dome. And
well,
then
that's
there
brilliant.
You go. Yep.
Because the robot is not at risk from a lot of things that obviously fleshy people would be at risk from, like radiation poisoning, like all these great, horrible things that could happen to people out in space. I mean, robots, for the most part. Of course, you have solar storms and things like that.
And he's using material that's there too. That's it's like a really great idea. They're saying it would take 3 months to finish and could house 4 astronauts and 1 Ashley.
And what? Well, 3 astronauts and 1 me.
3 astronauts and 1 Ashley.
3 and an astronaut. Yep, I went there. I did. That was me. I just went there. It happened. I love this. So it's a concept. It's just a concept, though. Not
just
actually
a concept,
doing it.
yeah.
That's a bummer.
I think we'd be a lot more excited. Yeah.
Give it a couple years.
A couple more years, get that robot all trained up. So there.
How long do you think it'll be until we have a base on the moon? Like somebody has a base on the moon. Somebody's living on the moon.
Somebody's living on the moon?
Yeah.
3 years, 4 years.
3 years, 4 years. I'm gonna go a little farther out. To build a base and have somebody, I'm gonna say 5 to 7.
I'm just saying we gotta get out of here.
We got to go, you guys.
Yeah, it's not.
we gotta get out of here.
We're running out of internet. We gotta get out of here.
And I was reading those comments about net neutrality, and I was like, I gotta leave, guys.
We gotta get out of here.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
There's, you know.
I pulled a Farnsworth, and I was like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I want 3 or 4 years. That's what I'm saying.
Last story. Okay, so we talk a lot on the show about digital stuff that is made to sound or mimic analog components or mechanics. But what about the other way around? So this actually is the Yay Bahar. The Yay Bahar.
Yay Bahar.
Yay Bahar. It's a fully acoustic instrument that sounds like a synthesizer. It's made by a guy named, I'm going to try not to butcher this, and I'm so sorry if I do.
Let's see if we get it.
Gurkim Shen.
That sounds about right.
Gurkim Shen.
Gurkim Shen.
It's a stringed instrument. It's huge. It's like taller than the guy.
It's a room thing.
Yeah, it's in a room, and it can be played with a couple of different tools. You can use mallets, a bow like a violin or a cello, and it's a weird, long, tall instrument, and it has 2 drum-like membranes, springs, and a tall neck. It sounds crazy, so we should listen to it. Let's listen. Very, very strange. So it sounds like a synthesizer, digital synthesizer.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting. And if you want more from the Yay Bahar,
from Gurkim Shen,
and the Yay Bahar, you can head over to his SoundCloud. He has a bunch of different tracks.
Oh, that's awesome! You can listen to it for free.
It's like a whole album, basically, a Yay Bahar album. You can get your own Gurkim Shen album.
Yeah, if you listen to it, let us know what you do while you listen to it. Like go for a jog, or
yeah, would you jog or meditate?
Meditate, yeah.
Maybe you'd paint. Maybe paint,
yeah.
Get a little creative.
Danny Painters.
Pretty cool. But yeah, so I thought that was really interesting, and I think it's neat that people are making these, physical objects that create digital sounds.
Way to go! Cool. You found a story that's like a sound, like a music one that's like that we can go listen to right now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like
we
that.
can go. We're gonna jam out.
Yeah.
We're gonna start up a new festival, music festival of Yay Bahars. Yay Bahar players.
Yay Bafest.
Yay Bafest. Yay Bafest 2014.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Get out your wheatgrass shots, guys.
Logan will be there, though.
Get out, yeah. Producer Logan goes to every music festival in the universe, so he will be there. All right, on that note, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our Blizzcon 2014 recap, which was the best thing ever. And also, we have your user feedback and our phonographer of the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. So we said last week I was into Blizzcon. That was like my thing.
You're into all games, but yeah.
That's true. But we both actually attended Blizzcon. We didn't think Kale was going to make it.
Yes!
But he made it.
I got in.
Just in time for Metallica. So,
oh, yeah.
But I saw everything else. So let's discuss BlizzCon 2014.
So it's sold out, right? It was
sold out. Bunch of people, tens of thousands of Blizzard fans. Okay, so first things first. Okay, so here's the WCS, a bunch of the WCS finals. It was amazing. The finals for StarCraft 2 were unbelievable. Life played against MMA, and Life took it 4-1, and it was intense. Like, it was a really good final. It was a really good final. It was really, really good. All right, so then they announced, during opening ceremonies, Mike Morhaime and Chris Metzen just bring the house down. They announced Overwatch. Which is a new IP that's coming. This cinematic literally looked like a Pixar movie.
Yep.
I felt like I was watching a sister film to.
It was totally intentional.
Big Hero 6. Yeah, it was very crazy. I got in that demo line over and over and over again and played a lot.
Yeah, I haven't heard one bad thing about it other than you wish you could sprint. But it wasn't like a bad thing. It was just like a hey, But everybody else is just like amazing.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's not even an alpha yet. So like one of the things that I would have liked is I would have liked things to pick up on the ground, so like grenades or just like secondary stuff that you could throw, or like bombs or poison or something like that would be really cool. But I think that it'll be really interesting to see how the game evolves. But Overwatch looked really cool. It was really, really fun to play. I think a lot of people will enjoy it.
And I asked you earlier, we don't know if it's going to be free to play or if it's going to be paid.
They didn't talk about anything beyond like, hey, here's this new IP. oh, it's available at the demo stations to play. You can pick from one of 12 characters to play as. And we were able to switch freely in the game. Like, you just walk back in your base, you could hit H and then switch out your character.
And they didn't announce when its official release date was.
No, but beta will be next year.
Next year. So like January,
already.
Yeah,
already we're going to see beta next year. I believe Heroes of the Storm is now having like an open beta or something, like closed beta starts in January, which right now it's in tech alpha. So they're going to get going. The cosplay contest was so awesome. So Chris Hardwick hosted this year. Jay Moore's been hosting the last couple years, but the costume contest this year was really, really good. They had this one was awesome. There were people who come up with just the most elaborate, amazing contests, and I'm always impressed at what they come up with. Some of these people are unreal. This was John as Jaina Proudmoore. That made me laugh a lot. He was perfect. He was perfect. But the winner of the contest, I felt so bad. This was, oh my God, I love this. This lady is a Naga. So the winner of the contest, I felt so bad for her because apparently she injured her ankle backstage before she could get out onto the stage for the contest. And producer Logan, like, I think we have the picture of her actual costume.
Yeah.
That's her costume. She won, and she couldn't bring it out on stage because she hurt herself backstage right before she was supposed to go out, and I felt so bad for her.
But she won.
She did win, and they brought her out, and she was like, you could hear she was like holding back tears, or like choking back tears, because she really wanted to show off. She worked, I guess, like 2 or 3 years on that costume with her husband. So a lot of hard work, but hey, we're featuring you, and you're all over the internet right now, which is awesome.
What's your name? Pi? P-Y?
P-Y.
There you go. You can look it up yourself. There's some pictures up there.
PY Blizzcon 2014. You can find that. Gosh, what else did I see? Okay, so all of the finals for the WoW Arena stuff, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, all super good.
The Hearthstone stage was beautiful.
It was the tavern.
All the stages are crazy.
All the stages are crazy. It was the tavern from Hearthstone that people were actually playing. It was unreal. And then the last thing that I got to see at BlizzCon, after Metallica was over, I ran upstairs and I saw the Warcraft movie footage.
Wait, that was after Metallica?
They had it going till 10. You could have gone. Sorry. Kel, don't cry, please. The Warcraft movie footage we can't show you, but it was unbelievable. It looked gorgeous. And then Duncan Jones, the director, said, you know, hey, like, I realized that, you know, what you saw is they're unfinished visual effects shots, and I want to show you a finished effect shot of an orc, like our main character orc, emoting. It looked so good. Like, I can't even tell you. It's coming out in March 2016.
Everybody that's talked about it has been like, you could see the moisture in his eyes.
He was
and
like
the veins
getting
on his eyeball.
choked up. Yeah, no, he was like getting choked up while he was talking to his orc wife, and like, oh man, it was intense.
Oscar bait for sure. He's
I've
totally
never
that
seen anything
orc's
like
gonna
it.
win an Oscar.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's apparently a sight to be seen, and that's great news for a lot of us that were just worried about that movie. It's just going to be like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, listen,
animation.
I've been very concerned about the Warcraft movie ever since they announced it, and then it kept getting pushed back, and new director, and like this and that and the other thing.
And Duncan Jones, I mean, like, he's great, but he hasn't tackled anything this huge. He's a big gamer.
Plays WoW, so he understands the universe, which is really nice. But yeah, so that was great, and all the panels were really good. As I found, there was a cat on a stick as a mojo for my Witch Doctor in Diablo 3. I'm very excited about that. And then also, very lastly, Metallica brought the house down.
Yeah, some little indie band named Metallica.
I think they're going to be fine.
The level 90 Elite Torn Chieftains opened for them.
Level 95 Elite Torn Chieftain.
Now they're just Elite Torn
Chieftain. Did they just drop the level?
They did.
That's wise.
So they did that, and then Metallica came on and played for 2 hours.
Then they were so good.
Which was pretty good. I was in a lot of pain afterwards.
He was right up front.
Always, I was
way
in the
3
front.
people behind.
I was at that point in the mosh pit where you're on the side, and I didn't want to be in the mosh pit because I wanted to watch the show, so you just get hit the last time. It's like, So, but it was fun. It was fun.
I love you, Metallica. Help me.
But it was. They always have a different musician every year, and this was a fun. This was
a good year. Last year, Blink-182, but this year, Metallica, good. Yeah. I enjoyed it. That was BlizzCon.
Who do you want to see next year?
Well, see, if I had my choice, I'd say Queens of Stone Age, but I always say Queens of Stone Age. But I don't think they're a big enough band. I think that's like it's got to be some global phenomenon. Like they've had Foo Fighters, Tenacious D. Ozzy Osbourne played. Yeah. You know what I think Blizzard should do? I think that they should get all their money together and throw it all at Robert Plant to reunite Led Zeppelin at BlizzCon. He won't, because he just ripped up an $800 million contract to reunite Led Zeppelin. Literally just like tore it up and was like, I don't care. But man, if anybody could do it, maybe it would be Blizzard. I don't know.
Jeez.
Maybe like, I don't know. I don't know who I'd want to see. What's a really huge band? What is it? Legendary band that you'd want to see?
The Rolling Stones, I guess.
I was gonna say like the Stones.
Yeah,
like I guess it would, but that's like seems to skew a little bit too old for most of the crowd.
Yeah, that's why I was like Metallica seemed kind of like perfect.
Maybe like Nine Inch Nails. Nine Inch Nails.
Nine Inch Nails would be pretty good.
I like that.
Scare away a lot of the kids that play WoW that haven't heard Nine Inch Nails though.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah. No, I think that could be really good. But yeah, so it was a really good show. All right, it's time for your user feedback. We went on and on about all this stuff.
Yeah, well, we went on for BlizzCon a little while, and then Metallica a little bit. So
yeah, just a little bit.
That's 5 hours of my day right there.
I know. Okay, so your user feedback. We asked you guys to use the hashtag TDDeadHolo to tell us.
Oh yeah.
What celebrities you'd want to bring back in hologram form? And okay, first of all, most used hashtag we've ever done on this show.
Ooh, nice job, guys.
There were a lot of responses. It was very difficult to choose.
Very good, very good.
I picked 5. Okay, so Chris Alicious wrote to us and said, I'd like to see Ronnie James Dio perform.
Oh, that's great.
Hell, why limit it to musicians? I'd also like to see Eddie Guerrero wrestle again.
While Ronnie James Dio is performing, yeah.
I agree with that. Spyro the Dragon, who I did not know was an avid Twitter user, said, no question, let's get the Kings on stage for a battle, Elvis versus Jackson.
That would be amazing. Why didn't we think of that? Get them both going on stage?
That would be super good. A lot of people said Michael Jackson. They were like really into having like Michael Jackson perform in hologram.
Spyro brings up a good point. Why do we have to pick just one? What if they did a tour where it was like multiple pop artists?
Oh man, the hologram. Hey, Hologram USA. Yeah. I know you saw our show last week because you tweeted at us. Hologram USA, have a tour.
And then we can award the best ones, and it'll be the Hologrammies. Let's move on to the next one.
A Hologrammies. All right, so Travis says MCA from Beastie Boys as a hologram. I like it. Yep. But seriously, I want Star Wars Holotech for Skype and podcast tomorrow daily on my couch.
We're
sitting right in between you.
So he sets up a seat, and then we're projected right next to him?
You know what it's like? It's like on the Haunted Mansion when you ride at the end with the hitchhiking ghosts. We're the hitchhiking ghosts. So you're sitting right in the middle.
If you can Photoshop yourself right here. There you go.
All right.
As always.
You're welcome. So then Humdrum Harv said, I want to see Steve Jobs back on stage. And I got a bunch of those. A bunch of people saying like, Steve Jobs introducing the iPhone 7. Like, which would be really unnerving, you guys.
People would be mad at that, I think.
I think people would be super offended by that. But I actually think it's a good use of the technology because a lot of people, when they watch an Apple keynote now, like you see it on Twitter all the time, you're like, I really miss Steve. Like, he was so energetic. There was something magnetic about him when he delivered a keynote. Like, I see a lot of that.
What about this? What about if they project him on stage and he wouldn't talk, but he would nod if he liked something they said, and then shake his head if they didn't like it?
See, but that seems weird and disingenuous. That would creep me out a little bit.
Just for a minute.
That would creep me out.
They're just like, it syncs to the cloud, and he's like, and they're like, never mind, it doesn't sync to the cloud.
Nope, we're just kidding. And then lastly, Jesus wrote to us and said, bring back Freddie Mercury for a Queen concert.
That's great.
Hashtag Highlander Rockstar, hashtag Princes of the Universe.
That's a really great one. That's a real good one.
For real? That might be my favorite. That might be my favorite. I really loved it. But you guys, seriously, you gave so many good answers. It was unreal. Unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. And of course, now that we're done.
Did anybody say Jim Croce?
I didn't see that, no.
Do you remember that was one of my picks?
Yes, it was.
Forget it. Let's just move on.
Somebody said that they felt that was a good pick, though. Somebody actually said, like,
I thought Caleb was
all right.
Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter. He makes his own music. He's very amazing at the guitar. Every song he sings is heartfelt. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. All right, it's time for our last piece of user feedback, which is, of course, our photographer of the day. Today's photographer of the day goes out to all the ladies. And by that, I mean a lady wrote in.
Oh.
So it goes out to a specific lady, and her name is Jennifer. And she took this amazing picture, and she said, I took these on my fabulous iPhone 6 Plus in Carlsbad, San Diego at Tamarack Beach.
Woo!
I use the Photoshop Express app for a little editing. I enjoy taking pictures of random people I don't know. Well, that is not creepy at all.
You're destined for the paparazzi, Jennifer.
That's right. I'm totally blown away by the phone's camera and its ability to soften and even out bright, harsh light as seen in these photos. I'm so sorry, but I couldn't decide which photo to send. I figured you could decide if my photos were TD worthy and which one was the worthiest. I chose this one.
Yeah, it's real good.
I felt that these photos highlighted the camera's ability best. Love your show. Tech, variety, wit, sarcasm, and humor. Keep me watching.
Oh, I wish I was one of them.
Your check is in the mail, Jennifer.
That does look fantastic. I do like
it's gorgeous.
Brightness really
it looks
well.
amazing. I love the different colors in the sky, like the different color clouds. You see the ones that are really high up are all white and puffy, and then right in front, like right over the ocean, are like that dark with like the nice golden kind of color.
It looks ominous. Is there a surfer in this photo?
There is.
Yeah.
Surfer
it's
right
Carlsbad, of course there
Carlsbad,
is.
Of course
yeah, that's my hometown.
It's a random stranger that she wanted to creep on, take a picture of.
We
Jennifer,
can zoom in on him.
You creeper.
Thanks for watching, Jennifer.
No, yeah, thanks for creeping on us. Thanks for watching. We'll take it. We'll take it. We want you to creepily watch us every day. That's what we want.
That's our bear.
That is what we want. Yeah.
Creepily watch us.
Please creepily watch us. All right, guys. That is it for Phone Talker for the day. If you want to send in your picture, you want to send in comments, you want to send in hashtag of the day, you can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. Send us a link to your picture. Tell us a little bit about it, like Jennifer did. It was really good. It was a good story.
I like the backstory.
And we love that kind of stuff. So send it on over. And if you hate using email, you can always find us on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+, if you are into that sort of thing.
And if you have ever used YouTube before, you know how to subscribe. So you can subscribe to the show, and you can get the show daily, so you can have things daily for your brain to tinker on about. And you can also follow us on RSS feed, iTunes, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we're all over.
And then if you want to follow us personally, you can go to your Twitter account, which is
Ashley Esqueda. Or you can go over to Kale's, which is
@KaleAnonymous.
Very easy.
So there you go. Yeah.
That is it for the show, everybody. So until tomorrow, be good humans, and we will see you next time. Bye.